Adam, with Russell Wilson going to New York, what other options does Pittsburgh have? Is it just Aaron, or is that it?
I think, Chewy, that first of all, they both need each other right now, frankly, and that's if Aaron wants to play, which I'm not convinced yet that he does. Until I hear him say, "I want to play," then I can tell you people are asking that question about whether he wants to play. Like it's come up. People have said to me, "Hey, are you sure he wants to play?" No, I'm not sure. I'm hearing he might not want to play. Which, by the way, again, I don't want to speak for him because I don't want to get called out. But we're speculating, but it shouldn't be that hard. Like either you want to play for the Steelers or you don't, right? Like what are we waiting for? I don't see too many free agents who go visit a team for 6 hours, think about something, and what's the question? What's the issue? They want you. You don't want them? Clearly, you have questions. I don't know if that's playing for that team, living in that city, playing football, and what there's something that's holding you back because they want them.
Were you surprised by the number that Stephon Diggs signed for with the New England Patriots yesterday?
Well, I mean, you have to see the contract, right? 3 years, $69 million. That sounds like a big number. What's the guarantee? 26 or
26.
29?
Yeah, I think it's 26.
Yeah, so the guarantee's 26. So really what they're doing is they're guaranteeing essentially 1+ year, right? For a guy that's coming off a torn ACL. They needed help at that position. The guy's a great player. He's a great player when he's healthy and could become a target monster for Drake May. And they needed to upgrade that position, and they still need to look to add more people to that spot, I think. But it's a nice start when you add Stephon Diggs and Mac Hollins in free agency and can go add more in the draft.
Adam, what do you think? What do you think the Titans want to do with the first pick in the draft? Do you think they want to trade that? Do they still have faith in Levis, or are they ready to move on from it? Seems like they're in not, even though they have the first pick in the draft, it doesn't seem to be real desirable. Are they going to be forced to take Ward with the first pick?
Chewy, let me correct a couple of things there. First of all, the first pick is right now highly desirable. Highly desirable. I expect in the coming days and weeks the Cleveland Browns to make an effort to trade up to 1. I expect the New York Giants
really
to make an effort to trade up to number 1. I expect maybe even, we'll see if they do, the New Orleans Saints to try to trade up to number 1. And my question will be whether or not the Titans are willing to move off that pick. And to further contradict what you're saying, I don't know that they will. I think right now they're prepared to sit there and take the quarterback Cam Ward because they like him that much. So not only do they like him that much, but other teams like him that much, and other teams are going to be trying to trade up to get him. And so that number 1 pick right now, I would say, is coveted right now. And the player himself, we'll see what kind of pro he's got. I'm not telling you how great he is or isn't going to be. That I don't know. But I can tell you that there are a lot of teams that really want him. A lot.
So Adam, if they don't trade him, are they taking him?
That's what I fully expect.
Okay.
Fully expect. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And you brought Will Levis. No disrespect to Will Levis. Like, he's not a part of their plans for the future.
Okay.
They added Brandon Allen, and whether they trade the pick, if they trade the pick, again, here's how I would describe it. They don't want to trade the pick. They're not looking to trade the pick. It's up to some team to make them an offer that they can't refuse. And I think that that's entirely possible.
Okay.
Adam, next week, the owners' meeting is going to be getting underway, West Palm Beach. I know last week or 2 weeks ago, all of the different proposals for rule changes that they're going to be talking about. That's where, the Packers' very specific ban of the tush push is going to be discussed. A number of other things as well, including maybe I can't remember who proposed the playoff seeding of, hey, it should be seeded by record, not if you just necessarily win your division. do you expect any of those rules that you have seen? Do you expect any of them to pass next week?
Gabe, I don't know. I haven't asked about that. Like, I'm living in a free agent draft world. I don't get too worked up about the rules until I get to the owners' meetings on Sunday. Like, is this going to pass? It is? Okay, great. Like, so I don't have any great insight for you as to whether I could say this from my experience of having gone to the owners' meetings for over 30 years. There'll be rule changes. I don't know what they are. Like, there's always a couple of things that pass. Always. Every single year. So my guess is that the overtime will be extended from what it is in overtime in the playoffs to the whole season. That'd be one guess.
Okay.
Like, that makes does the conference seeding is the conference seeding gonna I don't know if it's got any momentum. I don't think the tush push has real momentum, but here's the other thing to remember about these rule changes. I don't really care how much support they do or don't have. A lot of it, sometimes it comes down to how much the commissioner wants something. If the commissioner wants something,
I'll get it.
They're going to find a way to pass it. Okay? Like, hey, coaches, go play golf. Go play golf. Like, this has happened to me. I remember many times coaches have complained. Wait, hold on. We were told it wasn't passing. We were told to go play golf. And while we were playing golf, they passed the overtime rule. They passed this rule, the kickoff rule. Like, we didn't want that. Like, so, usually what Roger wants, usually he finds a way to get. So if he wants the tush-push banned, my guess would be that he'll find a way to do it. And same thing with the conference reseeding and all that other stuff.
All right, with that being said, Adam,
yep.
Why has the 18th game cooled? I haven't heard any talk of it. Is that because Goodell knows that this thing is not coming down until the CBA is up again in 4 years?
I just think it's a cyclical thing, Chewy, where, like, you're not hearing a lot of 18-game talk just because why would you be hearing 18-game talk? We've been talking about free agents, and we've been talking about rules changes, and we're talking about the draft. Like, the 18-game, I guarantee when we get to May and June and July and there's not a lot going on, you're looking for somebody to just mention it. It just hasn't been mentioned because there's no urgency to it right now, but nothing's changed about it. The league is going to want it. The players aren't going to want it. And ultimately, it's going to be up to the league to pay enough money to get it, which I think they'll do.
Okay. Fair enough.
That makes sense? Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
It's not the time of the year, and it's not like you're going to have league officials lobbying for it. They don't want to talk about it. They know what they have to do. Like, what is there to say about it? We want 18. We know the league wants 18.
Yeah.
We know that there's enough money on the table. What is somebody going to say? You know what it would be? I'll tell you when it could be, and I don't even know that it would surface then. Every year, right before the draft, Roger Goodell does sit-downs with ESPN. Mike Greenberg will interview him before the draft, and there'll be 5, 6, 7, 8 questions, and one of them might be, where are we on the 18-game season? And I could predict his answer. That's that's not on the CBA. We need the cooperation of the players. Over time, it's something we'd like to look at, but we're not there right now. Okay.
Adam, famously a month ago, you were looking at the 60-day forecast in Green Bay for the draft.
Yeah, let's do it.
It's 4 weeks. I was about to say it's 4 weeks. Is it a week from Monday? Or a month from Monday? It's 4 weeks from tomorrow. The opening round of the NFL draft in Green Bay. Have you looked at the because I have not. I rely on you for my long-term forecast outlook.
I'm looking at it right now. It's 23 degrees there today.
Yep.
Right now. The 30-day forecast. I see the 90-day forecast. I just went the 30-day forecast. I said, the 30-day, April 24th. It says showers, 57 high, 42 low.
All right. That's not bad.
Take that.
That's
I
not
would
bad.
take it.
By the way, Friday, 53, 42. Saturday, 58, 40. Like, sign me up. Sign me up.
Yeah.
Like, we're okay with that.
Okay. Because you were panicking. Like a month ago, you were panicking because it didn't look that good.
Well, when I checked, like, by the way, the only thing that's less accurate than weather predictions is 60-day weather predictions. But But beyond that, like at that time, it did say 28 degrees. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so we've risen 14 degrees, and let's keep our fingers crossed. Like it says Monday right now. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday that week, 60 degrees, 61. Like,
oh, that ain't.
Maybe that gets pushed back.
That,
yeah, I was about to say it gets pushed back to Thursday. That's not bad.
I told you. This is the truth. Somebody that went to school at the University of Michigan, went to graduate school in Chicago. I think the two of the three coldest instances in my life were the draft in Chicago in April and the draft in Cleveland in April. Like those two things, I was, oh my God, was I cold.
Well, you get the wind whipping off the lake, and that'll just cut you down to your soul.
It was brutal. So, yeah, I'm
feeling good. So I've got one last question for you, Adam, before we let you go, because I have been obsessed with this Dan Hurley story. I don't know how much of the tournament you've been paying attention to.
I saw the whole thing. Yep,
yeah, so, he walks off, and it's not even really about Dan Hurley for me, because, he was complaining about the officiating. It's just a day that ends in Y for Dan Hurley. It's more about the person who works for the athletic department who went up to the reporter who took the video of him complaining about said officials to Baylor, and then threatened to ruin that reporter's life if they did not take down the video, which obviously the reporter did not because the video is still out there. Has anybody from any organization ever threatened to ruin your life over something you reported?
No, not that I can recall, but I when you're saying this, and I'm aware of all this, Dan Hurley is one of the great coaches in college basketball, one of the great coaches in sports. I saw that and I'm like, he has a habit of doing that. Like just, he didn't do it. He was walking off. He's like Nick Sirianni in a way, right?
Yeah,
like,
he complains about the officiating. That happens. Again, the part I'm fascinated about is that this rose to the occasion of the communications director for the basketball team to use a threat that I could never imagine using myself, going up to another human being and saying, "I will ruin your life if you don't do this."
What's the expression? The cover-up is worse than the crime.
Correct.
And that's exactly
what
Adam,
that is. I guarantee you, Gabe, number one, has never been to Connecticut. Okay. There is nothing. I thought the Whalers were still in Connecticut, and I'm from Massachusetts, Adam. I know you've been there. It's the only show in town. So with that, you get this massive ego, and that's how this happens. That's how I see it. What's in Connecticut, Adam?
But Chewy, you can be right. That's how this happens. And Gabe can be right. That's not what should happen. Like, that is what happens, and it's not what should happen. And you both can be right. And I believe you are right. I think that sort of thing does happen.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the first time, but it's wrong. It's wrong.
Yeah, it's totally wrong. I agree.
Like that guy, to me, I'm sorry, like that's a fireable offense.
Yes.
The
only life he's ruining is his own.
Right. When you're in that job and you're making those threats, and those threats are made public, your job now is in jeopardy in my mind.
Yeah, 100% agree with that. Adam, we always appreciate the time, pal. Love that you're wearing the Bucs shirt, even though we didn't get good Bucs news yesterday. But maybe they can deliver on the court tonight against the Denver
Hold on,
Nuggets.
Gabe. No golf? That's just telling me that Adam has no more faith in you whatsoever when it comes to golf.
We're a couple
you
weeks
sold him
away.
down the river with the Players' Championship.
With the early start
yes.
BS start times. Yep.
Look. It's the Houston Open. I didn't think Adam really cared about the Houston Open. I think everybody.
Hey, Gabe. Hey, you know what I just did, by the way? I'll change the channel. Sticking on. You know what I just did? I just booked a flight to Augusta, Georgia, for a couple of weeks from now.
Oh.
Wait, are you going to be doing this? Are you going to be doing this live from Augusta in a couple of weeks?
I'm flying in that Wednesday. I have a flight that Wednesday.
All right, so
literally just booked my flight right before I got with you guys. Yeah.
Are you doing anything for ESPN? Or are you going because this is just Adam Schefter as a fan at Augusta?
Adam Schefter as a fan at Augusta.
Hell yeah!
By the way, like I don't do anything for myself. Like like I never leave I never do anything. So I'm going Wednesday to Friday. And
Nice.
Oh man, I am so jealous. Hey, you've been before, right?
yeah, I've been. And by
Okay.
the way, the first time I went, and I had no idea. It's actually pretty funny. I think it was 2021. It was the year after the pandemic.
Okay.
And the course wasn't open really. Like, so I went through a group, that I was invited to, like ESPN, connected ESPN kind of
Yeah.
thing. And I had the course to myself. It was unbelievable. Like, it was incredible walking around there for a couple of days by myself.
So here's
Adam,
here's the
back
problem.
in-
Here's the problem
Liam-
with going to Augusta, though. For you, are you just like hoping news doesn't break? Because famously, you're not allowed to bring your phone onto the grounds.
Well, I that is my one issue with going there. But you know what? I think when the Masters is on ESPN Thursday and Friday, it's a quiet. So even if I'm making this up, Aaron Rodgers signs with the Steelers, I don't want to miss that, and that would really bum me out. But there's no programming on ESPN. It's all Masters.
It's all Masters. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
great point.
Yeah.
Great point.
So that's the way it goes.
Adam, me and Brett got invited after the Super Bowl back in '96.
Yep.
And we blew it off. We blew it off thinking, we'll get invited here a bunch of times. God, was that one of the biggest regrets of my life?
Well,
Never got invited back.
but one of the guys, let's say one of the two did eventually get invited back. I'll let you
Well,
guess who
yeah.
the one who did not.
Yeah. Live and learn.
I'm fine.
Have
So
fun.
neither one of you have been.
I went in 2019. I was there for a
Okay.
practice round in 2019, the one and only time I was there. And it's one of my favorite places. It's unbelievable. It's what they do there. It's spectacular. Like, so I order the Taste of the Masters. I order the food to get shipped to my house, and I'll have a Masters party that Saturday.
Wow.
No, I never been. Never been. Not till.
And do you have any
Not until I
desire
get
to go or no?
invited again. Well, until I get invited, and I know that ain't happening, so I'm fine with the TV. God, I should have went. What a dumb move.
Let me say, it's a beautiful place. Like,
So good.
damn, yeah, it's really really nice. So I like I said, I don't do anything for myself, and this is I'm excited about it.
Yeah, well, I'm excited for you, bud. So you have that to look forward to in a couple weeks, but we'll talk to you next week here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Thank you guys. I'll be in Florida next week at the owners' meetings. We'll discuss rule changes. Right.
Come on down.
Beautiful.